to go. All right, guys, welcome to Saturday's day 6 self-myofascial release. We're gonna get started the same way we always do with neck, shoulder, and lower leg circles. I'm gonna do mine demoed in front of you here on the ground, but you know what to do. You can stand, you can get in a half kneeling position, up to you, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to sky, ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Nice and slow, take your time today. Saturday's mobility. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm probably going to say this reminder a few more times as we work through. You do need a foam roller or a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball or a basketball, some kind of object for self-myofascial release. Preferably, you'll have both a foam roller and a lacrosse ball, so we can pinpoint and get some more general releases. Let's go ahead and get our first arm circle, right hand in your pocket, taking it all the way back. You know how I like to do it, with my rib cage rotating through, all the way around back to our pocket. From here, reversing that action, getting the internal and the external. On Thursday, we did get spirals. Today, we're not going to. We are going to get some rib and spine cars. Last week, our focus, because we spent the full hour getting lower body. This week, our focus is going to be upper body. Now, most likely, I'm going to have to move this camera a lot for you guys, so keep that in mind. Lower body's a little bit easier, a lot more tissue, a lot more areas. Upper body's a little bit harder, but for those of you with neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist stuff going on, it's be a nice day for you. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left hand. Again, we're going to do 1 full minute on each limb, and we are going to get leg circles. But after our leg circles, we're going to work strictly waist above, ribs above. Arthur, I saw that you're on this video, and anybody else who has super bands at home, keep on going here. You got another 20 seconds. Yesterday, I made another 40-minute video utilizing these bands, so I'll send that out to you today. And I made a 20-minute booty workout with just these. So if you're looking for something to do that's relatively quick, you're going to get those in your inbox today. And with all emails, I'm also going to be sending you the playlist for, or rather, yeah, the playlist, the YouTube playlist, so you can access all recorded videos that I've done up to this point. Grab onto something that doesn't move. Let's get your first hip circle. Right leg, knee comes up. Knee goes out, heel goes to ceiling. Again, right leg, knee comes up, knee goes out, heel goes to ceiling. We've been doing this for 4 weeks. I don't know about you, but it looks like I'm getting a lot more height and a lot more control with these hip circles just because we're doing it 6 times a week. You got another 30 seconds. I'm just going to clear this camera real quick for you guys. Sorry about that. Keep on going. Right leg still, 20 seconds. Up, open, and under. Up, open, and under. And Thomas, since you're on, I'm going to bring up the conversation we had yesterday. Thomas brought up the fact that, you can switch legs, when doing these 90-90 positions, right, his leg just can't move up when he's doing the pails and rails, right? Trying to pull the leg up doesn't go anywhere. Remember, it shouldn't. So if you're at home and you're doing that 90-90 with us, and you're thinking, man, I just can't pull my leg up off the ground. Most likely you shouldn't be able to. It's about neurological control, right? So we're gonna go over that a little bit today, just so you understand what I mean. Just to review that 90-90 pails and rails position, I'm gonna show you, we're actually not going to do it today though. Because again, we're working on upper body. Last one. Let's go ahead and get into our spine rotations. First, focusing on flexion. I'm in a full kneeling position. For you at home, I would suggest a kneeling position or a half kneeling position for this exercise. Drawing the rib cage down, rotating right, and rotating left. Now, this should not cause you pain. Only go as far as you can in each direction without any kind of pinching sensation. And notice that as I come back to center, I end up resetting. Right, just to make sure that I'm getting strict rotation and I'm not actually side bending through this action. A lot of rotational athletes, and most sports are rotational. Throwing a ball is rotation, hitting a tennis ball, hitting a golf ball, all that stuff is rotation. They end up losing the rotation and end up making forward side bending. So we get that compressive, nasty feeling in our sides, right? So it's important to understand how to dissociate your rotation from your lateral flexion. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to get into a half kneeling position. My right knee is down. Now I've done this in a full kneeling position for the past 3 weeks, but I'm going to try it here in a half kneeling position. Right knee down. I'm going to rotate, I'm going to side bend to my right side, right? Opening up all this stuff. I'm going to then rotate right and rotate left, okay? The reason why my right knee is down is because if I were to switch and laterally flex, I can already feel some compression happening right here where my obliques and my glutes connect, and I don't get anywhere near as far and it starts to pinch. So opening up, right? This angle allows me to get a little bit more lateral flexion, allows me to rotate even more in both directions without getting that pinchy, crappy feeling. Each time I'm trying to readjust my lateral flexion so I don't lose my center of gravity. I'm sure we've been here for more than a minute, but I'm going to do 2 more reps. And then switch sides. I'm going to give you a different angle this time. It's also going to let me look at the clock. Left knee is down. I'm going to laterally flex or side bend towards that left side. I'm going to rotate and rotate in the other direction, right? So if you're looking at my hands, this is the angle of rotation. Side bending, rotating through, rotating away. Another 30 seconds here. Finishing that up. Go ahead and shake it out. Walk around if you need to. I'm going to show you that 90-90 pail and rail just one time. We're not going to demo it. I just want you to observe what I mean. Thomas, this one's for you. You know what we're talking about, right? So this is our 90-90 position. Been here before, right? Passive stretch is when we lean forward. The pail is when we push into the ground. And if I'm this close to if my rib cage, excuse me, is this close to my lower leg, there's no way at least I can pick up my leg from here, right? So it's not about necessarily being able to lift the leg up. It's about envisioning that pull. So you can see my heel is able to drive off of the ground, but my leg isn't going to lift, right? What I could do is I could start my push from this position and then actively try to lift my leg up off the ground, right? So different variations for how you can try to get that feeling of pull. For me, I'm trying to get into a deep passive stretch and then just focus on here. I don't really care if my leg is lifting off the ground. But if you want less of a stretch, you want more of activation, then you're going to try to pull yourself back a little bit into a more upright position, whatever works for you. Remember, these are isometrics. So even as you're pulling, you're imagining that your leg is against a wall, right? That wall is invisible. It's not going anywhere, but I'm still trying to get it off the ground. You need a foam roller for this one. We're going to do some T-spine. You know, we'll do T-spine rotations with the foam roller. But we've done this open book / the Bretzel in a lot of classes this week and the past 2 weeks. So for this particular drill, if you don't have a foam roller, no problem. I'm going to show you how I can do it with a foam roller. I'm going to keep the foam roller parallel to my body. I'm going to hug my left leg on top of this foam roller, and I'm just going to get into this open book position. Right, we've done this without a foam roller 100 times, right? You do not need a foam roller for this. You can hold onto your leg, you can grab that bottom leg, you can open up with your shoulders. Right, this is a more gentle approach to it, I think. And we're gonna be here for a minute. So let's go ahead and get these open books, the Bretzels. You can do the halo around the head. It's up to you, how you want to challenge yourself. Breathing through it, taking your time, nice and slow. No tension in the neck. Last rep. We're going to switch sides. So you just need to roll over from me. I'm going to switch directions. So you get a different angle. Same idea. Opening up, haloing around the head, holding the leg, using the foam roller. Whichever option you have available to you now. Maybe 2 more reps. And when you finish with that rep, you can relax. Now we're going to use this foam roller for passive thoracic extension. Okay, passive thoracic extension. If you don't have a foam roller at home, you can do upward facing dog with your belly on the ground and your elbows on the ground. So you can do active thoracic extension. Okay, so what you would do, I need to drop that camera a little bit, shoulders go down, and you just drive up, right? Little bit of tension in your abs, and you'd hold this position, okay? And you hold it for as much as you can. Chin stays tucked. You're not looking up. You're not cranking on your neck. That would be an active T-spine extension drill. If you have a foam roller at home, you're going to follow me. We're going to place this foam roller right in the center of our back. Feet are flat on the ground. Hands go behind the head to keep the chin tucked. Okay, I never want you looking back. Okay, we're going to work slowly around this foam roller. Imagine your spine is like water, and you're trying to wrap your spine around the foam roller. Okay, soft tension in the abs when you come up to help you sit up. Chin stays tucked, hands stay behind the head the whole time. We're going to do about 4 reps. In each position. So the foam roller doesn't move. Foam roller does not move. You move around, you melt around the foam roller. One more rep. Make sure your butt stays on the ground, your feet stay on the ground. Okay, that was 4 reps for me. I'm going to move this foam roller up 1 to 2 vertebrae. So it was just below my shoulder blades before. Now it's right in the center of my shoulder blades. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Keeping my butt on the ground. Different feeling, different vertebrae. There's 1. We got 4 reps here. Taking our time, probably going to be here for 2.5 minutes. Soft breath. Little bit of tension in your abs to help you sit back up. Four reps for me there. I'm going to go ahead and move this foam roller up just above my shoulder blades. And I'm going to go again for another 4 reps. Each rep takes 5 to 10 seconds. Take your time, not rushing through this at all. If you're doing the active, just stay active. Easy to forget to breathe with this exercise. So make sure you are breathing in and out as you move. I just finished 4 at home. Take another 10 seconds if you need it. What we're going to do is get into a lat release, side lying position. So foam roller is perpendicular to my body. I'm going to lie on my side and I'm going to hug my arm around my head. Okay. Foam roller is going to go from armpit to maybe middle of the ribs. Okay. Now again, all the tricks with the foam roller is the roller does not move, right? You're trying to find a position that doesn't feel so hot, like right there, right underneath my armpit, right? I found something that's not so great, right? Really tense because I'm always lifting and pulling and all that good stuff. Maybe you as well, but maybe you need to go a little bit lower down your lats. Up to you. You've got all this room from pit to about mid-rib where your serratus, these banana-looking muscles, right, end up. Find something that you need. There's serratus for me. And again, the foam roller doesn't move. You floss by moving your ribs closer and further away from the ground, right? Arrow coming from my sternum, moving closer to the ground, further away from the ground. Cool. We spend about 2 minutes in each position. So I'm going to go ahead and put a timer on here for you. Find something that you really want to live in and live there. Let me find my timer. You guys are going now. Here we go. Now, if you find something that's super tender, what you can do, if you want to just sink, and melt around that tissue, you can then move your arm, right? You can make little waves with a straight arm, up and down, right? Again, this technique is called pin and stretch, right? You've pinned your tissue into this object, and your movement is now stretching that tissue around that pressure. Some of you might even get some adjustments with this kind of stuff. Got another 30 seconds here. So I'm trying both. I'm doing the pin and stretch, and I'm flossing. Flossing being moving my rib cage, right? Still a pin and stretch, right? It's just, where am I pulling from? Am I pulling from this side, or am I pulling from this side? Ribs or from my hand? Let's go ahead, since that was 2 minutes, and switch sides. Now, you might not find something that doesn't feel great. This might all feel pretty good, or feel like, this is fine, cool. Doesn't have to hurt necessarily. Like I told dear Arthur, if you're on here, hello. Press on anything hard enough, you'll make it hurt. So the goal isn't necessarily to find stuff or apply so much pressure that you feel like your arm's falling off, or that you're crushing your ribs, or that you can't breathe, right? Just search. I don't know where you'll feel this the most, right? And I also don't know, there we go for me, how much pressure you can apply. It's on you to search and just be relatively forceful. Not so gentle that you're just scratching the surface, giving yourself a little pat on the back or pat on the lat, right? But find something, see if that's the right thing that you need. Any shooting pain, any lightning bolts, anything that makes you dizzy or hold your breath, right? Move away, you don't need that. Shouldn't be a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale, but like up towards 6, this feels kind of crappy, you're all right. Another minute here. Oh yeah. So 20 more seconds. Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1, you can come on out. So just for a visual, if this was money for you at home, here's the things that I was doing with my ribs. I was moving myself closer to the ground, moving myself further away from the ground. With my arm, straight arm, I was trying to drag my hand across the ground, and I was also trying to do this little open book, internal and external rotation with my hand, right? A lot of different ways to try to stretch the tissue once you're pinned underneath. Now, you can still use a foam roller for this next drill. I'm not going to demo with it because I don't think it is the best way to get our pecs, but I'm going to show you how you can get it anyway, right? So you would lie down flat on the foam. Lie down flat on the ground, right? You would hug your arm right here. So your chest, or the lateral aspect of your chest, is on the foam roller. right? And you do the same thing. You can open up and close. You can circle around the ground and do something like this, okay? Not ideal, right? Ideal is going to be a more pinpoint stretch because this is a more, it's a less broad piece of tissue for us, right? So I'm taking my lacrosse ball. I'm actually going to get closer to you so that you can see what you're doing or what I'm doing. You can do this against the ground, right? Or you can do this against a door. You can pin this. Oh man, my hair is crazy. You can pin the lacrosse ball against your chest, right? Press into the ground and then do those circles. For me, I'm going to use this yoga block. I'm going to press here, and this is going to allow me to, with my left hand, search, and with my right hand, find stuff that I don't really want to do. It also gives me freedom to horizontally abduct and adduct. So I get this nice three-dimensional pin and stretch feeling, right? So searching, you're thinking from tissue where your clavicle is, right? Maybe an inch or two in, this square here, okay? This square here. Ladies, be careful of your breast tissue, right? Up to the armpit, avoid bone. Avoid bone, right? So nice square part here. Cool. Finding that. And then for me, big open. I'm applying a lot of pressure with my left hand. If you're against a door, that works as well too, right? You can do it against the floor, up to you. But search first. If you have a yoga block, this is a great way for you to explore, right? Find, pin, and then move around. I've been talking for about a minute, so we're going to continue for another minute. And I'm trying to get all these different actions, like that arm circle that we do in the beginning, right? Rotate, internal and external rotation, flexion, horizontal abduction, flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, all the actions of the shoulder. If you find something that doesn't feel hot, live there. Live there, open up. For me, I like to get a lot of internal and external rotation. Switching between here, right, which will help promote protraction and retraction of the shoulder blade, which will help shorten and lengthen the tissue. Oh man, that was a full minute. Cool. Now, the other way that you can do it is get it into your armpit. Like so, right? A little bit harder, more of just a pinch, or not a pinch, more of like a closing angle compression, right? And if you compress the tissue actively, it will actively decompress once you are done with that compression, right? That's why compression sleeves work, right? They help send blood and oxygen there after you take them off. We're gonna go ahead, switch sides. I'm gonna find something that I need. Right here, this one's a little bit closer to my clavicle. Oh yeah, that's fun. Okay, I could be doing this on the ground. I could even put this yoga block on the ground. And do it like that. What's the rule? If I get quiet, something's working. Yep, something's working. Oh man. Another 30 seconds here. And you can relax. Okay, now I'm gonna move the camera. I'm gonna get against the wall, and I'm gonna get my shoulder with this ball. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Oh yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this lacrosse ball right along the top part of my shoulder, right? You can see that here. Now I can search first, right? Finding something that doesn't feel too hot. And then once I have, I'm going to get that shoulder movement. So I've pinned the ball, right? Maybe I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to talk to you as I do it. I've pinned the ball, right? And then I get the action of the shoulder, right? I actively shoulder flex. I actively abduct, right? But the ball is staying stuck in that position, right? So let's switch sides for me. You guys stay at the same side, right? Ball is staying stuck in that position. It might be higher, it might be a little bit lower, right? But the movement of the arm is what's going to give me the release. Up, open and across. From the pocket, up and across. Very simple release. Okay, and you could probably spend a lot of time here in your shoulder. So we're going to spend 2 minutes on each side. Now, keep on going. You've got another 30 seconds here. I'm going to show you how to do it against the floor, but for me, I prefer the wall. I assume you all have walls in your home, so that is going to be the best bet for you. However, if you prefer on the ground, you do the exact same thing, lying down, finding it, and then working here. A little different. Doesn't really allow me to use my legs to apply the same amount of pressure that I can while I'm standing. All right, what's important is don't lose the ball. Another 30 seconds here on your right side, and then we're gonna go to the left side. If you're standing, stay standing. If you're on the ground, stay on the ground. Up to you. I'm gonna stay on the ground just to prevent the camera from moving. 2, 1, switch sides. I'll rotate so you can see the ball. Place it in that same position. Yeah, so on the ground, less pressure, less intense. But it still does the job. And we spend 2 minutes in each position because that's how long it takes our body to accept the stretch reflex, right? So whether we're stretching or do myofascial release, or you get a massage, you should be spending at least 2 minutes in any particular area. It's also why we don't want the foam roller or the object that is giving us the release to move, right? If you're moving the foam roller or if you're moving the lacrosse ball, right, that area is just getting washed over, right? There's no opportunity for your brain to communicate to the body, hey, relax the tissue. All right, so even though my arm's doing all this dancing, the ball hasn't moved at all. Oh. Now we are going to do some breath work. We're going to do some diaphragm release after this. And I want you to be very, very careful with what I'm going to show you. It might feel awesome for some of you. It might make you want to puke. I'm serious about that. So try not to puke. I mean, you're not here, you're not in my house, so if you have a puke, go ahead. Rule here is don't puke. You're not working so hard that you're going to vomit, but be mindful. Now, I'm going to show you, you can relax now, how to attack it with your fingers. You can use a lacrosse ball and you can place it on that yoga block. But I'm going to show you exactly where we want to get. So rib cage and sternum, right? You can't see my face, but you can see my Elizabeth Warren shirt, right? Trace the bottom of your sternum all the way down your ribs. Okay? Both sides, tracing across all the way down. So we got these points right here. And this is where we're going to try to find some release. Now, you can do this in this full kneeling position using your fingers, right? And this is more about your breath than it is about the pressure. The stretch that you're going to get is going to be your breath. Breathing in, breathing out, right? Every time you breathe in, your diaphragm gets shorter. Every time you breathe out, your diaphragm gets longer. So if you pin tissue, right? Maybe something that doesn't feel so hot, and you breathe into it, and then out, right? That tissue has to stretch around that point of pressure, okay? So I showed you how to do it with your fingers, right? You can explore a little bit, find something. Actually, take 15 seconds, explore with your fingers now. Feel your ribs, anything that's sensitive. And if you're at home, no, you don't get recorded, right? So I would suggest try not to flex your abs, trying to have as soft a gut as possible, right? You are not impressing anybody with your six-pack. Also saw a meme the other day that said, this is the summer of personality. Nobody's going to be out on the beach, so you better get your personality right, right? Also, that means less flexing, right? Allow your gut to be as soft as you can and explore, okay? So maybe you found something with your fingers, maybe you didn't. This is where the lacrosse ball really comes into play. And for me, it's going to be a smaller ball. You could even use a golf ball if you have one at home. Now, you are going to need to elevate onto something like a yoga block or a book, something along those lines, something to give you a little bit of elevation, because this small tool will just sink, it won't do anything if I'm just flat on the ground. So I'm going to find, and I know it's on my left side, right, oh, there, some stuff that doesn't feel so hot. Oh, wow. I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes breathing into that ball. We're going to do both sides. Oh, if you're using your fingers and you're in a half kneeling position and you found something, that's fine. Stay there. I'm not sure exactly what other object you could use for this kind of release, but if you have any ideas at home, let me know. Send me a message or leave it in the chat. I'm using a kitchen knife or whatever. Don't use a kitchen knife. Although there are ways to release with spoons. I'm just not that creative. So I'm getting my left side, you might be getting your right side. We got another minute here. Now, does anybody know how many breaths you take in a single day? Anybody? Why are you all so quiet? Joke? Funny? 20,000. 20,000 breaths a day. So this might be super sensitive for a lot of you. Take 20,000 breaths per day. Imagine doing 20,000 bicep curls a day. How mean would your biceps feel all the time? So if this is surprisingly shitty for you at home, that's why. The less tension you can have during your breath pattern, the better this will feel in the long run. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides because that was 2 minutes. Now for you at home, if you want to trace more towards the midline, right? Get more of your rectus, right? Those ab muscles you're always flexing. right? Feel free, go a little bit lower, right? For me, I'm still attacking the diaphragm, but all this tissue in our belly, diaphragm, rectus abdominis, transversus abdominis, obliques, internal and external, right? Some of them might be sensitive from all of this heavy breathing that we're doing day in, day out, or all of this tension that we are putting our midsection into from constant sitting, from constant breath holding, from whatever it might be. So this might be the best thing for some of you at home. And by best, I mean it might feel the worst. Search, find something that, like right there. Oh God, I want to puke. Oh. And we're here for 2 minutes. Again, no lightning bolts. No lightning bolts, no fire. Anything that irradiates, anything that travels to other places of your body, makes you dizzy, ease up. Not saying it's bad necessarily, I'm just saying ease up. Another minute. Soft gut. With your breath work, no tension throughout the body, except in the places that are holding you up. So right now, a little bit in my shoulders, but that's all right. Two, one, be careful coming out of that. Oh yeah. Okay, now, for those of you at home who've experienced medial or lateral epicondylitis, elbow stuff, medial, inside, lateral, outside, this might be the best thing for you. It might not do anything for you. So we're gonna get our tricep, right? And we're gonna try to get our bicep as well. Bicep's gonna be harder with a limited amount of tools, but I'm gonna show you how to do it with a lacrosse ball and against your door frame. Now, for our tricep, we're gonna lie down on the ground. I'm gonna show you the ideal, but I know you don't have this equipment at home. Ideal situation for me and my tricep is I'm gonna have a barbell, right? I'm gonna get something on, I'm gonna pin my tricep on that barbell. I'm gonna flex and extend my elbow. Pretty simple. We've got 3 heads of our tricep muscle, right? 3 heads, tri. Bicep, we've got 2, right? So we're gonna try to attack all 3 as we get our tricep and both as we get our bicep. So what that means is we're gonna have to floss, right? We're going to have to pronate and supinate our hand to do so as we get into this tricep release. So there's a lot of flossing and there's a lot of movement at the forearm, okay? You don't have a barbell. This is ideal at home, but you could set up a broom along 2 chairs, right? And you could do it like that, okay? If you don't have a broom, you don't have 2 chairs, you don't want to spend time doing that, I'm just going to show you how to do it with this lacrosse ball and your block. Now, if you don't have a block at home, use books. We do need to elevate our tool, right, to get the right amount of pressure at home. You can see this, right? Found the lacrosse ball. I'm going to have to actually pin the hand into the crossball. So I'm working my right tricep. My left hand is holding the ball just to make sure it doesn't fall off. Okay? And I'm going to extend and flex my elbow. I'm going to pronate my hand, extend, flex my elbow. I'm going to supinate, flex, and extend the elbow, right? And then I can floss. So you can see why this is not the most ideal tool. Let's see if I can do it with that. I guess we could do it without elevating it, but your best bet is going to be a broom at home
right? A longer surface that doesn't roll around. You could use the foam roller. I don't think it's going to give you as much feedback as you want. So we're just going to explore tricep for a little bit. And these are the actions. Flexing at the elbow, right? Imagine, this is called a hammer curl for a reason. It looks like you're hammering something down, right? So that would be a neutral grip, right? Open palm is called supinating, like you're holding a bowl of soup. And then pronating, like you're dumping that soup on the ground, right? Palm is down. So you can try all of that. Thomas, I see you using the rails of your stairs. That's a good idea, right? Now again, all the way from your pit to your elbow is where you want to get. Pit to elbow. Cool? We've been here for about a minute. I've been talking a lot, so we're only going to do another minute here. We're going to get the other side. For some of you, this might not feel like much, right? Travel, travel, travel. If you ever dealt with elbow stuff, this is definitely going to be the kind of stuff that you need. Oh man, it's already been 48 minutes. It's crazy. Time flies when you hate yourself and your body. Yeah, this works on the ground. 10 more seconds. We'll get the other side. Go ahead and get that other side. Left side again. Now I'm going to time you. I'm not going to get it myself. I'm just going to come closer to you to show you. Pit to elbow. Neutral grip, supinated grip, pronated grip. Flex and extend. Flex and extend. So try finding points all the way up to your armpit, right? As far as back here. Flex and extend. Supinate, flex, extend. Pronate, flex, extend. A little floss, side to side action, right? Move the tissue or move that tool down closer to your elbow. Find something. You got another 90 seconds. I'm going to show you how to do bicep. We're going to call it a day. Another 60 seconds at home. Keep on going. Let's get this doorway set up for bicep. Another 15 seconds, take your time. Three, two, one. You can relax. Last thing we're going to cover is bicep. Now, bicep release is good for things like shoulder tendinopathy. It will help with a lot of medial elbow stuff as well. Now, that is not a prescription. I am not your doctor. Seek doctor's advice for real diagnoses. But these things have been shown to help with shoulder stuff and elbow stuff. Okay, bicep releasing right here, same idea. Focus is going to be on the eccentric, nice and slow. Now it's going to be hard to get the bicep unless you have two pieces of equipment, right? Block and ball, right? So I'm going to apply pressure to this ball with my yoga block, right? So left hand holding onto the block, flexing the bicep, slowly releasing. And as I release, I'm trying to apply more pressure to the tissue, right? So I'm softening up my pressure with this hand, right? I'm applying more pressure. And then as I extend the elbow, more pressure, okay? So just like the tricep, working from elbow to shoulder, right? Biggest arms you've ever seen in your life, right? So right here where that little crevice is, all the way here, no higher than here. We don't need to go that high. You could, but we're not going to. So finding the ball, yoga block, whatever you can, right? Soft amount of pressure here. Once I'm in this flexed gun show position, applying more pressure and releasing, right? Same idea here. You can supinate, you can do neutral grip, you can pronate. Now, if you're pronating and you feel more, you're actually not getting your bicep, you're getting something called coracobrachialis, right? Which probably underworked, but that's a lesson for a different day, right? Bicep tendon, short head and long head, right? You either have to be supinated or in a neutral grip, the hammer bicep curl. So find something. I've been talking a lot, so we're only going to do another minute here. Find stuff that doesn't feel too hot. You could, hypothetically, I was thinking about figuring out how to put my arm in the door. But again, if you have these two things, a book, something that you can apply pressure to the ball with, make sure it doesn't move. Let's try it even without, right? Here, yeah, that works. Just a hand. Hand on the ball, applying pressure. Actually, that works even better. Pressure, length, pressure, length, pressure, length, pressure, length. Hammer curl, neutral grip. Maybe one more rep for you at home. We'll switch sides. So I'm not going to use that object. I found it was a lot better without it. Right here, just the ball, a little bit of pressure, apply pressure, extend the elbow to get length. Apply pressure, extend the elbow to get length around the tissue. Right here in the center of my belly is nice and tense. Oh, wow. I'm going to do this for 2 minutes, this place. Pretty simple stuff. Oh, yeah. So the reason why I'm easing up on pressure as I flex my bicep, right? This thing becomes rock solid, right? So I don't need to apply more pressure to try to fight it. I'm trying to have a soft amount of pressure here, get more range of motion, right, than I would otherwise, right? If I'm applying pressure, I end up flexing, I'm going to stop here. But if I soften up, I can really close that angle, which will then allow me, oh yeah, to get nice and deep into that belly. Another 15 seconds. Shake out your arms at home. That was 55 minutes of self-myofascial release. Just so you know, these past 2 weekends were more like workshops. They are meant for you to search and find things that you need help with. When you're here, I can help you a little bit quicker, but between upper body this week and lower body last week, you have all the equipment and knowledge that you need to release stuff that can help with your core, with your hips, with your shoulders, with your back, with pretty much everything. We will not be revisiting these kind of self-myofascial release tools with future videos. We're just going to get into stretching, kin stretch, FRCs, and yoga stuff. So hope you enjoyed these past 2 weekends. If you don't have one, order Lacrosse Ball. They're $2, $3, something like that. Very valuable tool. Foam roller should be no more than $10. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Adios.